Hi.
You married!
I'm
Congratulations!
married. I look so married. 2 rings.
Oh, you look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, how was your day?
It was a little bit crazy, but the moment of the wedding and then afterwards was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the night before, yeah, the night before, my friend who was like coordinating it all, and we were having stuff at her house afterwards, the reception, um, texts, and she said, I'm really sick. She never gets sick. And she goes, and I took a COVID test because I couldn't smell the soap in the shower. And so she had COVID. The whole family had COVID. So all of a
Oh,
sudden, my organizer, place that's decorated everything, and my house is like filled with moving boxes. So John and I are like clearing a path and you can come up. We're like clearing a path and like taking all the boxes upstairs and trying to like decorate the house. And um, we just kept going, we're eloping. Next time, well, there'll never be a next time, but we're eloping. So we're like, well, that'll be our word. Like whenever one of us doesn't want to do something, we'll be like, let's elope.
let's elope.
Let's elope.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
So it really was lovely. It was a great day.
Oh,
And we're married, and that's really what matters.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is the great part to say. We've done this
I know.
crazy thing they call wedding, and we survived.
And we survived, and and then we moved up to Pennsylvania, 10 hours away, a couple days after the wedding. So we just got here and I mean, he's been living here, but like in a new place. So all my stuff like to
Mm.
unpack and, you know, get our lives like fitted together. Who has the better kettle? Who has the better this? Which of this should we keep? You know what I mean? Like when you're full adults and you get married.
Yes,
Yeah.
very true. You see, we were just finished with studenthood when we got married.
Mm, yeah.
So now the day when Rudy's dad passed away,
Yeah.
I realized, oh, that couch of ours are really old, so we probably get dad's. So I'm never going to have my own furniture. So we are there where we are like, yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll just keep on with the old furniture and the student
Yeah.
stuff that we've passed down. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just stuff. It's just furniture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling more
Oh, I'm
back to
getting
normal?
there. Yes, yes, definitely that dog tiredness
Yeah.
is definitely decreasing. Still battling a little bit with the concentration though, but
Hmm. Yeah.
I just think it's normal life, normal life,
Yeah.
and I'm just so thankful. I'm almost through it. I'm just so thankful.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the time you want to get sick, but I'm glad you made it through and had someone to bring you home.
Yes,
Like the worst.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. How are your kids doing?
Um, they're doing great. So tomorrow we've got a beauty pageant that they had to participate in or have to participate in. So I
Hmm.
tease them merciless. I'm like, oh, you believe in world peace, do you? Very funny. Because I've got farm kids. There's no finesse.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 17 years old
Yeah.
and she still just runs around bare feet. She hates shoes. So
Yeah.
she even said she's going to go in a formal dress. Just make the dress longer, mom, so that nobody can see my feet. She's going barefoot.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yes. So luckily they can do it together. So they are each
Yeah.
other's partners. So they've decided they're going to keep it very energetic, very light.
Hmm.
They will be the clowns of the evening, and the rest of the friends can do the
Mhm.
rounded
Perform.
off and romantic and stuff like that. So I said, that's fine.
What are they
Happy
going to
enough.
do for their talent?
So our thing is a little bit different. They have to do like an item together. So
Hmm.
they've got this high energy impact dance,
Oh,
starts
okay.
in complete darkness with only their glow in the dark, but not what do you need, goggles.
Like, oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, and then he throws her around, and they've got these bit of jumps, and then he
Yeah.
pretends to drop her, and he's like, haha, drop my sister. And then he flirts with somebody in the audience. She's like, what are you flirting? And then she just pretends to tackle him, and she ends up on his shoulders, and the
Yeah.
back of their shirts they reveal then, because they're going to go on that song "Can't Stop This."
Yeah.
Um, but we've printed T-shirts "Can't Stop," and then on his back at the bottom, "This twins." So
That is really creative.
yeah. I look forward to tomorrow, and then Thursday evening it's their inauguration.
What's that
My
mean?
daughter, my daughter is deputy head girl of the school,
Hmm.
and my son is one of the prefects of the school. So that's very formal.
Yeah. Right.
I'm more stressed about Thursday evening than
Yeah.
tomorrow evening.
Well, yeah. I mean, it means a lot more to both of them too.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm. I know. I can't believe it's like already the middle of October.
it's crazy.
You
It's
know.
crazy.
Um, no,
Oh,
sir. Yeah, we're real barky head right now. I
oh,
mean, not that it
really?
wasn't before, but it's really bad. Okay, you can get down. Why don't you go take care of John? My husband
Yeah,
threw
yeah.
his threw his back out from all the moving
No.
stuff. So my office is like atrocious. Like the movers
Oh,
just kept putting everything in my office. So like I literally cannot get in it. And there's a mattress that needs moved out before you can even like, but it's so heavy. So I'm gonna
oh,
wait till my stepson comes home and see if he'll help me. My stepson will come home. I mean, he's 19, so it's I have two of them.
wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know. One in college and one living here with us for a few more months.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, we found a townhouse that's 3 stories.
Hmm.
So downstairs would be like your garage. And then instead of the garage, like going the full length of the house, there's like a room down there. So that's where he lives. So it's actually kind of
Okay.
nice. And then we're all the way up. Yeah,
Wow.
good.
Oh,
Um, oh, but what I was going to say before Wellington got crazy is so Lori, like they got a lot of water from the first hurricane, Helena,
mm,
but it didn't like breach. Did you see this on Facebook? Like it didn't breach into their
mm,
house, but they still like all this cleanup to do. And then now, so they evacuated up to Orlando. Um, and Cheryl and I are like, it's gonna hit Orlando too. Because it's like where it's gonna hit. Like Florida's a long, just like peninsula looking thing. And it's gonna
mm,
hit in the middle. And then Orlando's like higher up. So it's basically gonna kind of go like this. Even if it goes like this, it's still going to be
mm.
because everywhere in Florida, like the ground is so saturated, so it can't take any more rain, and it's going to get hammered. Um, so Cheryl lives in Connecticut. I would have offered my house, but I don't even have a mattress laid down. So Cheryl offered her Connecticut, and but she just said that they got to Orlando, and instead of it taking them an hour and a half, it took 6 because of
Oh,
the highways were just so backed up, like trying to leave. And then, and petrol, like just getting gas. And
Mm.
then, anyway, so she said right now they're just trying to decide if they should stay in Orlando or if they should just risk it and just try to get more north, which, so we don't know what they're doing yet, but yeah,
Sure.
I know.
Well,
Say
maybe,
prayers.
sure. That is scary.
Yeah, it is. I'm thankful. I mean, it's crazy because Florida doesn't get hit very often. And now they got
Mm.
hit twice, and
Twice.
it never gets hit on that side. And now it's gotten hit twice on that side in 1 year.
Mm.
And then a couple years ago, it hit we call it the panhandle. It like looks like a long peninsula, like a fishing net kind of thing. And then it has a handle. So the panhandle is really thin. And it just got blown away, like totally blown away.
mm.
I know. So I think a lot of people will be moving up north
Mm.
and leaving Florida. Yeah. Christine, how are you doing?
Well, I'm losing my crap. I'm sorry I'm late, you guys. I'm like so unbelievably swamped at work. I'm working till like 8 o'clock every night, and I start
Yeah.
at 5 a.m.
Mm.
And they're just really riding us to finish all of our current clients. Plus, they just threw us all brand new clients because our program ends, right? So I right
Yeah.
now have 16 clients, which means 16 websites to build.
But by the end of the month.
No, I don't know how long, because the end of the we are supposed to end at the end of November.
Oh, okay, November.
But they just gave me all these clients, and we have new clients signing up every day. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We're basically losing our crap. Like, I'm losing it. I don't even know. I haven't listened to those videos yet. Rita sent me a message that I did not respond to yet because I got busy and didn't. And
Yeah.
and then I felt bad because I took 3 days off of everything because I had a women's craft retreat I was going to.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like I shouldn't have gone because I'm even farther behind, even though it was on a weekend. Like, I'm supposed to have time on a weekend, but
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm going to fit all this stuff in. So I'm losing my mind, but you looked stunning on your wedding day.
Thank you.
And super congratulations to you.
Thank
I'm so
you.
happy for you. And I loved
Thank
your
you.
smiles and the joy that
Thanks.
you both had. And it just was so wonderful. And it made me so happy to see it.
Well, thank
And
you.
congratulations.
I have to show you guys. I didn't put these on Facebook yet. Oh no. Oh, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh,
So, so when it was time to like kiss the bride, I like pulled this ladder out that we had at the front with like flowers on it, so it looked like decor. But I grabbed the ladder. This isn't where the ceremony was. We took the ladder down to the water, but so I got up on the ladder to like kiss him because he's 6'4" and I'm 5'2", and so everybody. So then we took it down to the water and took
Wow.
all these pictures, and so I love this picture.
oh,
That
that's so cute.
It was really fun. Yeah, it was really special. And then
ah,
there we go. Stop sharing. But thank you guys for congratulating me and being part of it.
I thought Cheryl was here today. Not that we have a problem with you being here, Holly. I'm just
No, I
confused.
know. Well, it's supposed to be Lori today and Thursday, but now it's going to
Oh,
be me today and or Cheryl Thursday.
because Lori's in Florida.
Yeah, so she got hit the first time, but the water didn't go into their house. It just like came up high enough. So they still had all this cleanup to do. And then now this. So I was just telling Rita that they evacuated with their 2 dogs and their mom to Orlando. But I mean, Orlando is not really safe right now either. It's like directly not directly across, but it's basically, it's going to get hit as well. And all of Florida is so saturated with water, like it can't handle anything. So now they're trying to decide if they should risk it and try to get more north. And I say risk it because the highways are all backed up. So what should have taken them an hour and a half to drive last night took them 6 hours. And then because everybody's trying to like escape and go north, all the petrol stations are running out of petrol. So I mean, it's just catastrophe because they were running out before with Helena, right? Because all these people with their generators and trying to clean up and just trying to get gas trucks back down there to start filling gas stations back up. So they weren't even ever like fully filled up. And now, I mean, it's just such a mess.
That is craziness.
I know. So
I think I'm going to be really, really grateful for my minus 35 degree weather this winter.
Yeah. Just minus 35. I mean, you don't have to be like that thankful, but yeah, at least you're not gonna you're not gonna drown.
Well, I won't drown, and I get to stay warm, and I always have internet because I have Starlink, and I always have power because I have 2 generators.
Get extra gas.
And we always keep 6 jerry cans, large jerry cans full of gas in our garage at all times, just in case of an emergency. Plus, we have an RO system built into our town water and into our house.
What's an RO system?
Reverse osmosis.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So if it broke with our town, we still have it in our house. So I'm just going to be really grateful for being in an area where we don't have bad things, because that's unbelievably terrible and scary and traumatic.
No. And like, I don't know if you saw the damage that Helene did up like in the middle of the states in Tennessee, North Carolina. Yeah, Tennessee and North Carolina, a little bit of South Carolina. So they had gotten like torrential downpours just from this random storm that like came across the states. And so like, I don't know how many inches it was, but their ground was like beyond saturated. And then here comes this hurricane, and it barrels as a hurricane all the way through 3 states. Is still like a hurricane 1 when it hit North Carolina and Tennessee border. And they're not prepared for any of this. I mean, that's like saying, to someone in Florida, like, why don't you have snow shovels in case it snows? So because of the water and then the amount of rain that came in with the hurricane, it washed away homes, like, because it's all mountainous up there in this area. And so it just was mudslide after mudslide after mudslide. People couldn't even get out. So they're still trying to like get people out, just hanging out like on little cliffs or like if there's a roof somewhere. And like part of our highway system is completely washed out, like the actual highway. So like when John and I were driving up here for the move, there were signs like you can't go this way and you can't go that way. And like it's going to take a year and a half for them to fix the highways.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a lot of devastation.
That's insane.
So I am grateful to be in Pennsylvania myself right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just today was like, do I need to take the class for Lori? Cheryl was like, yeah, that would be great. And I'll take Thursday. So we hadn't really heard a ton from Lori, which is totally understandable as they're trying to evacuate. So we just went ahead and made executive decisions. So she doesn't have to think about it.
Hmm.
So last week you guys had your mentor week,
Yes.
and how'd that go?
Well, I passed an ACC recording at least, so thank God.
Yay!
I'm so glad, but now I'm panicked about the one at the very last class.
What makes you panicked about that one?
Because I find when I'm just coaching in session here, I
Yeah,
seem to be so much better than when I'm being recorded.
yeah, that's understandable.
But thank you, Holly. I passed the last one, so thank you for
Awesome.
doing that with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and just, Nail, what do you have this week? Do you guys have a one more week of class or two more?
One,
This is
oh
12,
my
13,
gosh.
one.
1. Yeah, so
Oh,
whenever nail one of the nail your recording in class and you'll be okay.
well, that's not the one that so the last class, final class plus final performance on October 17th, that's when Rita and I coach each other, and
Oh, okay, that's right.
that's what gets sent in. And I was like, well, what if that's a crappy recording? And oh my
Right.
gosh, what do I do then? And I feel myself freaking out, and oh,
You okay? She'll make sure you're good.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know. I think I'm just really stressed out. So that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Can I ask you a personal question?
mhm.
What is keeping you at this current job?
The contract.
Okay.
I'm contracted till the end of November, November 30th to be exact.
Okay.
And I just need it done. In fact, it's never like this.
Yeah, I know.
I just have this job that, I mean, it's always been a dream job that's just relaxed, and I make my own schedule, and it's great. And then all of a sudden, you know, I took on this class, which was a lot, not thinking that I also have all of these Halloween things we commit to every year, which my husband's done by himself. He's only done 45. We did it the whole week I was off. He did. I worked and
Oh,
went away, and he did it the whole week I was off. It's
wow.
215 hours if we only do 70, and we have to do 100.
Oh, geez.
So it's 300 hours to do 100. So, I mean, we have to do that. And I put off training my dogs and just put off a lot of stuff. So it's not usually like this. And it's just right now.
Yeah.
So that's okay though. I thrive on stress. I
Well, are
don't
you
thrive on it.
contracted to do X amount of clients or X amount of hours per week?
X amount of hours per week, and it's only 35 hours per week. But I don't know. Maybe you make a good point. I have all these clients that they're assigned to me, so I have to do them.
Are they paying you over 35 hours a week?
No, I'm contract.
Right. So you're contracted for 35 hours. How are you able to handle extra clients?
Well, this is the problem. We have this one woman named Natalie who has no life. Well, by choice. So she
Right.
moved away from her husband. He lives in one place, and she went to live by her children. And
Okay.
so she lives there, and she rents a house there so she can be close to her kids, but she only sees them on the weekends. So during the week, all she does is work. So according to the boss, lately, she's like, well, why has Natalie done twice the amount of clients that the other three of you have? And of course, I'm the only one who speaks up. And I basically said, because she works an excessive amount of hours because she's bored. And
Yeah.
Natalie's like, well, yeah, I do. And I said, so I work my 35 hours and so does Jeff and Allison. And but according to the boss, because Natalie is her favorite, it's always been that way. We've always known it. She is benchmarking what everyone else should be able to accomplish and our level of productivity by Natalie's productivity.
Mhm.
So she said, well, she feels that the three of us could probably be more productive if we did this or if we did that, if we handled our time better, or, you know, if we didn't do as much for the client, if we didn't give them as many hours, you know, so there's always all sorts of reasons why we should be able to do more like Natalie does,
Mhm.
even though none of us work 12 hours a day like Natalie does.
Right. Nor should you.
No, nor should we. So I just feel like I just have to suck it up until the end of November. And I mean, once I do these 16 clients, because we had a waiting list.
Mhm.
So what's happened is that waiting list has been dispersed between all of us all right now. There's
Mhm.
no way we're going to get that many people on the waiting list again between now and the end of November.
Yeah.
So I really do feel like I just have to get through this bulk of the clients so that
Yeah.
way I can just do what I need to do. So I'm just really worried about this course. So our final mentoring and assignments are due November 11th, which is 1 month from now.
Yes.
So yeah, I can probably get these clients done in the next 2 weeks. And then that will leave me a normal amount of time to do the rest of the stuff. But where were those recordings again? Where were they put, Rita?
I haven't had time to check either on our console. So I did one on the YouTube thingy. But yeah,
Okay.
I listened to you, Christine. I just realized I dropped the ball last week. Seriously.
Oh no.
Need to somehow make amends over that. I didn't do my mentoring last week. I couldn't. So Thursday before the inauguration, I'm going to try to do the mentoring session with Cheryl. I'm going to sit in my car, drive myself, meet my husband there. Hopefully, I'm not too late for the inauguration. Yeah, and I haven't had anything from my children being on the leadership yet because it's just like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't attend this, I can't do this. No, the school is very upset with me. They are like, but you have a deputy head and blah. I'm like, yes, you next year. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
That's where I am right now. So I just, and I think that is where all the, yeah, and it's all this things we couldn't plan, right? It's all these things we didn't foresee. It's literally life is just hurricaning right, Helene right
Yeah.
Yeah.
over me. We burnt down last week our area about 8,500 hectares. I don't know how many sheep. I don't know how many cattle. We lost 3 people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So um, it's tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
and yes. Well, the good thing, at least the weekend, I managed to drop off at one of our poorest clinics in our country 8 months worth of vitamins for our cystic
Oh,
fibrosis patients.
that's awesome.
That felt really good. That
Yeah.
was my little, what do you call it, ray of sunshine, definitely.
Yeah.
So I just think all we have to do is sometimes, just assess what you can do right now and literally hope for some understanding and mercy from the rest.
Yeah, Cheryl understands. And if you guys are concerned about like the assignments, if you haven't looked at all of them, they're not hard. They're meant to help you build your business. So really, by doing the assignments, it's helping you move forward with your business. So it doesn't feel like, when we were in school, like doing assignments just to prove we could do the work. You're doing assignments so that you can put on paper what you learned. Like, this is what we learned in this class. Okay, well, this is how I translate this lesson into my business. Okay, this is how I take this lesson and translate it into my business. Right. So the correct answers are what's correct for you and your family and your business, not what Cheryl deems or anybody else deems correct. Does that make sense? It's not like a right or wrong. So don't let the actual like getting the assignments done, don't let that overwhelm you too much. Just go. I know. But as you're thinking,
it's not that for me. Like, I paid Cheryl for the, what do you call it? Rapid results. And I'm panicking because I'm just throwing my money down the drain because I can't get to the rapid results portion. Because I'm doing this and this and this and this. And I mean, who would have known that my job would have been coming to an end?
Yeah.
All this stuff would have happened. Like, I had no idea that was going to happen. I'm glad it's happening. Right. It's great. But I just got to get through right now. So I don't know. I feel like I just got this homework and I got the rapid results homework and I got this course, and it's just
what?
It's ridiculous, but that's okay. You know what? It's preparing me for something amazing. So
yes,
that's what I'm taking out of this.
You will get through it. Yeah.
Amen, sister.
What chapter are we on today?
We're on chapter 12, understanding the client's context. It's great because we'll just understand y'all's context and then you're good to go. You'll be able to then, look at other people's lives. So basically, you've been talking about this the whole time, but learning our clients so that when we are coaching them, we're tailoring the sessions towards them. We're not tailoring them towards like a generic, like when you look at your coaching niche, right? And they say like your niche should be written, or you should be aiming like your marketing for your ideal client, right? So we don't want to coach to this like generic ideal client. We want to coach to each individual that we're helping specifically and where they need help. And so that just means understanding them, their background, their family. I think a lot of the context of our clients, like some of it can easily be answered on an intake form. So when you're sending out your contracts and all those things, including what did I say? An intake form, creating an intake form that is more than just like their name and address and email, but like their birthday and their spouse's name and their kids' names and their fur babies' names and wedding anniversaries and, what's their past jobs that they've had. Like they don't need to rewrite a resume, but if they can get a lot of that basic stuff for you down on paper, then you're already going to go in knowing a lot about them. And I think it also saves a lot of time in coaching sessions, because then you're not spending a whole session or a half of a session like learning all the previous jobs that your client had and how they ended up here, right? Or hearing about, you know, all the children and who's doing this and who's doing what. And, you know, getting that kind of stuff on paper is so helpful, because then when you do ask about like a previous job or a child, you're asking specific questions. Like, hey, I remember you wrote down your son plays soccer. You know, how's the season been going? Like that means a lot to a client, you know? So when you think about client context, think about what are some things that you'd want to know about your clients that you could put on an intake form that they could fill out for you, that would help you, before you go into a session, know them better, but also not take away from coaching sessions. So you can just get in there and be coaching the person towards the goal that they are looking to achieve with us. So we're just going to talk about here the significance and the importance of integrating our clients' personal, the professional, and the cultural environments that they're from into this coaching journey that we're on with them. So contextual, and this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit, that you could put in an intake form, is taking into consideration, like, okay, professional environment. And, you know, nowadays it's like, not just what's your job, but like, do you work from home? Do you work from home full time? Do you work from home part time? Like, what does that look like for everybody now? And then the personal life, so family, health. I think it's really important to do with your intake forms a value sheet, have them think through and figure out some of their values before they show up. And if they can't figure out their values, there's a great session to start with. And hobbies, life balance, those types of things. And then we want to know, you know, just some cultural background things. Now, I don't know if there's appropriate ways to ask some of those questions or not, but be, you know, thinking as you're meeting with new clients, like what is a cultural norm for them? Like, what's their background, you know, their society, what was their family raised up in? And if their family was raised up this way, then what might that have inputted to your client, right? And ask questions around that and around those kinds of things. And I think that's where just, you know, the simple questions of like, how did you come to that conclusion? And then they are like, oh, well, my mom always said, or my teachers always said, or, you know, this big person in their life and in the community always said, right? And so then that speaks volumes into, okay, so that was part of the culture that you grew up in. Might not be something that they want to move forward in, but they feel that pressure as though that's what they need to move forward in, right? Because that's what they were taught. That's how they were raised. You know, I think the best illustration is like, you know, someone who's grown up in the church and they were forced, and then they become adults and they want to figure it out for themselves. And the parents just keep, and the grandparents just keep like shoving it down their throat, shoving it down their throat, shoving it down their throat. We've got to let people figure out, what do they believe, right? Like, what paths do they want to walk in? And that's up to them, the choices they make. So understanding those kinds of backgrounds in our clients. So there are some different like coaching models out there. Keeps putting my thumb up, I think because I'm scratching my arm. So some techniques that we can use is a holistic coaching model. So this is looking at the whole person, not just the isolated, like big goal that they're looking to achieve with you. And I think that's something we already teach here and WCI taught, is it's about the whole person. Because if the person is struggling in this area of their life, well, until they work through that, they're not going to be able to move forward in their this other thing that they're coming to you in for coaching for, right? I mean, it's just that simple. So again, that's something you're already learning and doing. I think you guys really believe in. Any kind of mapping that you can think of, know of, Google, Pinterest, Etsy, any kind of creative visuals that you can get for your clients to help them, especially if they are a visual person. Any of those things being done with our clients, you know, they can be hanging those up around them in their offices or, you know, wherever it's important to them, to be keeping that in the forefront of their mind as they're going throughout their daily life, right? That they're daily remembering what they were learning and trying to improve upon in coaching sessions. And then just systematic questioning. So asking the questions of like, you know, how does your work relationship tie into your like personal life or your life balance? Or how do your leadership skills at work, how do you use them with your family? Or should you be using them with your family? We don't want to should. But asking questions like that, that kind of bridge the gap, right? Because they're thinking, okay, well, I'm coming to you for a career goal, so that's all we're going to talk about. But then all of a sudden, you're getting them to understand connections between career goals and family, career goals and just life choices, and who they're becoming as a person, and what they're giving back to society, if they're giving back to society. And so then we're back to the holistic approach where we're not just helping them with these career goals, for example, we're helping them become a better rounded person. And as they become a better rounded person, usually, sometimes, some of these goals that we feel like we need to achieve, we have to achieve, really aren't the thing. It's just, we need to be better rounded as a person. So that's something we offer our clients as a free gift, because they don't realize they're paying us for that. It's just a little surprise, here you go. Here's a more rounded you at the end of our 6 months, 3 months, whatever, you know, time together. And then, so cultural sensitivity, asking the questions, you know, what cultural aspects are important for us to consider as we work together. I think that can be kind of a tricky one, like to put on an intake form. I think you could try it and see how some of your clients do with it. I think that is something that might be better answered in session with a client. You know, what about your family's background are important for me to know as we work together, right? Kind of making it a little bit more easily understandable. And life balance, you know, how do you manage the demands of your personal life and your work life or your nonprofit life, or, you know, any of the things that we all get involved in, right? So then we're going to take the emotional intelligence, which, Christine, I loved what you said a couple weeks ago about, you know, using the emotional intelligence to help your clients look at their strengths, weaknesses, and balancing those out. So I think that is a great thing that we teach here at the school. So applying, obviously, we're going to apply empathy. We all have empathy to some level, or we wouldn't be here. We've been working on it, you know, you guys, as you've been coaching. And so we want to look to apply that. And then our own just self-awareness. And I think when it comes to self-awareness, like, what are our own triggers and struggles? So like we talked about before, I mean, you usually become a coach to help a previous version of yourself, right? So but there still might be things from your past that you worked through that are just always going to be sore spots for you. They're just always going to be bruises or being held together with Band-Aids, in a sense. That's okay. That's okay. We're all broken. But I think if we're aware of those things, it helps us personally and as coaches, when we're aware of those things, when it comes up for our client in their life, we've already kind of thought through ways that we're going to, I don't want to say push it down, but we're just going to take ourselves and that thing that's a bruise or, you know, a trigger or a pain point for us, literally a pain point, not like a solve it pain point. And we're just going to like take it out of our brain as the client's talking, and we're just going to like put it on the back of the oven and we'll deal with it later. Like we're just going to let it cook on the back of the oven and deal with it later. And sometimes we're not even aware of what some of those spots are, right? We think we've really done some great healing, and we probably have. But as we change, you know, things that affected us before might need redealt with and looked at in a new light. Or you just didn't realize, like, oh gosh, I guess I never really did like personally work through that aspect of things. So emotionally, being emotionally intelligent, we need to think of our own aspects that we're bringing to the table and not to allow them to seep into the client session, right? Put them on the back burner and schedule an appointment with another fellow coach that you know, love, and trust. And then, you know, we use our emotional intelligence just for our social skills, right? I mean, it just shocks me the lack of social skills people have. I mean, it's just crazy. And then I think, well, some people just weren't taught them, or they don't have that emotional intelligence like we do to pick up on some things. And so we just want to work on our own communication and social skills to help our client. So like when we think about emotional intelligence and our social skills, like maybe you're not good at conflict. Okay, well, not that you're going to have conflict with a client, but I find for me sometimes like being really direct with someone is hard. Would have it been hard for 20-year-old Holly? No. But now that I've lived in Austria, where there's literally a closed door into every room, and there's a whole bunch of cultural stuff that goes with that, not just the building of it, how that has affected their psyche and how you speak to people. And then having lived in Ireland, where again, you're also very private. We think of the Irish as being really chatty, but they're really chatty about like what's going on in the newspaper, what's going on in the weather. They're not like spilling their tea, you know, about their lives to one another. So I find it hard for me now to be direct, and it's something I have to work on. You know, it's something I have to stop and think about. If I'm struggling to ask a question, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should ask that question. I have to like quickly think like, okay, is this, Holly, is this a gut response that you're afraid to ask this? Or is this like a, ooh, I don't want to be that direct. And if it's that, ooh, I don't want to be that direct, then that's like, well, they're paying me to be direct. Like they're paying me to ask these really hard questions. So just knowing our own social skills and struggles and strengths so we can work on them, so we can help our clients to the best of our ability. Any questions or comments so far? Okay. So then adapting to our client's context. So we want to be adaptable in the goal setting, and then situational empathy and emotionally attuned support. So adaptable goal setting is just adjusting goals to suit the shifts in people's contexts in their life, right? They're going to come to you with one thing and their life's going to be in one situation, like Christine. I paid for these things. I signed up for these things. This was all great. And now, how would I ever have known that my context was going to change so much in the last, you know, couple weeks? And so working with your clients on those things. Situational empathy is just demonstrating that we understand, we're understanding, and we will do what we can to help, adjust strategies and goals with our clients during, transitions, unexpected loss, unexpected devastation, like we're having in the States right now, situational empathy. Because I have read on the Book of Faces and then some things where people are like, why didn't Tennessee and North Carolina, like, why didn't they just evacuate? Again, that's like asking someone in Florida, why don't you have a snow shovel? It's like asking someone in Canada, how prepared are you for the next hurricane? What? Why would we prepare for a hurricane? That is like never going to happen. So we do need to have situational empathy because we never know what's going to happen. And then just be that emotional support and really rejoice with our clients, rejoice with them, enter into the emotions with them, enter in as much as we can, right? Like not being overcome with their emotion or our past emotion in that current situation that they're in, but that empathy and that support of, I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I know this pain. Simple 2 to 3 word phrases like that, when someone is really feeling something, can be so impactful and we don't realize it. And then there's these approaches to understanding the different contextual factors in our lives, clients' lives. So environmental scanning. So this is just asking the client, like we were talking about a little bit before, like asking them to discuss like their current environment, work environment, home life environment, challenges, again, work challenges, home life challenges kind of thing, support systems. Who's your support system at work? Who's your support system in your home life? Things like that. This is a great visual, is doing the life wheel assessment. And there's so many like free ones online, but it's just getting the client to color in with different colors how much of their life is spent, work, family, exercise, the different things that are on their wheel of life. So they can have this visual reminder of, this is what I want my wheel to look like, so they could create that wheel. Or this is the wheel that I currently have, and I don't want to have this wheel anymore, right? Or they could have both. Like, this is the wheel I'm currently living in, and this is the wheel I'm working towards. And maybe having those side by side for your client is really helpful for them. And then cultural awareness. So engage in the conversation that explores cultural norms and values that might influence a client's perspective. And I think this is just asking them questions about the culture that they're in, the work culture, the family culture, whatever it is that's coming to the surface. We don't think sometimes it's something that we are struggling with or wrestling with or not understanding. We think, well, it's the same, for everybody, and not stopping to think like, oh, this might only be like in this specific work situation. Oh yeah, like in other work situations, I never had this. Oh, here's the culture that I'm now working in. This is what's going on, right? Because we just live in our culture. We don't think about our culture very often unless we're pulled out of it or we're in a job career like us that is constantly looking at cultural norms and what society is saying and how that impacts us as humans and our empathy and our care, for one another. So there is an example here on, my pages are all messed up. I think it's the top bottom page 2-ish, where it gives the example of how contextual coaching may be applied. It talks about Maria. So we have Maria, who's 35. She's married with 2 kids. She recently started a fitness journey aiming on running a half marathon, and she enjoys gardening and painting. For life balance, she struggles with managing time between work and family. And her belief system is around a strong sense of community, values collaboration over competition. So then looking at her personal background and how that influences her, with 2 young children, Maria's coaching strategies may involve creating a time management plan that allots specific periods for family so that she's ensuring she can balance the parental role with the work goal with this, fitness milestone that she's looking to achieve. And as far as health, if she's aiming to run the half marathon, the sessions might talk about setting fitness milestones, integrating her training schedule into those other commitments that are already in her life. And then how ultimately can this fitness journey help her grow just overall as a person in her personhood? How could this help her energy levels? Where is this going to seep into other places in her life in a good way? And then hobbies. So Maria's enjoyment of gardening and painting can be leveraged in coaching to connect with her creative side. So possibly finding ways to integrate these activities into her marketing strategies or using them as a stress relief for practices. And then with her life balance, coaching strategies could focus on effective prioritization techniques, delegating tasks both at work and home, and setting boundaries to prevent burnout. And then with her belief system of valuing community and collaboration, as a coach, that may involve identifying opportunities where these values can be translated into her leadership style or her team management, those kinds of things. And then if we look at her professional environment, she is a mid-level marketing manager at a tech startup. Her career aspiration is to become the marketing director. As far as work dynamics, it's a fast-paced environment. She recently started leading a team. And then her job role challenges are balancing creative market strategies with data-driven results, which I can understand that. So professional environmental influences then would be, her career aspiration. Maria's goal to become a marketing director may lead to coaching objectives around just her own leadership development, enhancing her strategic thinking abilities, and possibly building a personal brand within the tech industry. As far as work dynamics, in a fast-paced startup environment, strategies can include resilience training, stress management, and a development of agile project management skills to help her keep up with the demands of this role that she's in. And then just overall job challenges, balancing the creativity with the data-driven results could become a focal point in the coaching. So helping Maria to integrate her natural strengths with the analytical skills required for her job, right? So how could she marry the two of those? And I just thought, how can she marry the two of those and not have to sacrifice, one for the other? And then her social cultural background. So for her cultural norms, she comes from a collectivist culture that emphasizes family and community, and it values cultural traditions, actively participates in community festivals. I mean, who doesn't love that kind of family? Societal expectations, navigating societal pressures of professional success and traditional family roles. And then each aspect of her context might influence her coaching objectives and strategies in following ways. So her cultural norms, so as a collectivist background, it could shape the coaching strategies to enhance teamwork and communication within her role at work. ensuring that her approach aligns with her cultural values as well. And as far as her traditions, acknowledging and respecting Maria's participation in community festivals could involve planning her professional schedule to accommodate these things that are really important to her, right? Important to her as a person, as a cultural thing, and with her own, creative side, she needs to have that outlet. And as far as societal expectations, the pressure of professional success and traditional family roles could lead to coaching conversations around setting realistic expectations, developing self-compassion, and navigating social pressures with confidence. So coaching with Maria could integrate these various contextual factors in a comprehensive plan, aiming to support her growth in a way that is respectful for her whole entire life context, right? Back to the whole person coaching. And that's what we want to be about. And that is what will and does already set us apart as coaches. That's why we get the referrals and someone says, I don't know what she did, but I saw this lady named Rita and I saw her for 45 minutes. And oh my gosh, like all these new things I'm doing, or just completely like got me to think on a totally different level. And I'm taking a totally different approach. And really, it's just because, Rita, you're asking them questions about their whole person, right? You're asking questions that are helping them connect dots that they don't even know need connecting, or helping them think that this dot is going to bleed into this dot, no matter how hard you try to separate them. So going into our just reflecting time here, engage and reflect. So how would we as coaches adapt our strategies when working with someone who is a direct communicator versus a client who's indirect in their communication? How can we help that person, or those two different people? I mean,
So I think at face value, the first thing, if you have a little bit of an intake form, you could pick up, is this person, a picture person or not?
mm-hmm.
Your indirect clients, I would invite, especially if they think in pictures,
Yeah.
Well, you are talking about confusion. What color is the confusion?
Like
that.
that.
just to kind of draw them a little bit into an easier way of connecting, and that different way of connecting just gives them the new breath of fresh air to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have a very interesting client, and I decide, okay, let's use the wheel of feeling.
Yeah.
And I asked him before I sent it, do you like muted colors or do you like bright colors? And he said, no, please, muted colors. And I sent the wheel in muted colors. And I said to him, would you like to look at the wheel and just see what you feel? And he went and he coached himself completely like Christine does. He's like, I'm sad, but if I look at this, I'm actually this and this. Oh, no, no. And he went with the wheel of feelings, just deeper. And his initial reaction when I asked him, he said, oh, I don't know. And then I realized that just how we could assist our clients is by offering something like color, wheels,
and
kind of, I get panicky when I hear I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think with the indirect clients, just a little bit creativity on your side. If you can pick up on a couple of their language ideas,
Hmm.
um, if you have a lovely, interesting vocabulary, in Africa, we're very fortunate. We do have. So even if you start on a lighter note and say, you know, in Africa, we have this proverb that says blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
What do you think about it? Just to draw them out a little
Yeah.
bit and then just relay it back. That's what I do.
That's really good. And I think too, like, if someone is more indirect or maybe just not ready to like name something in their life, but they can tell you like what color is it, it's red, then it gives them an easier it's easier for them to talk about because they could just keep alluding back to the red until they're willing to, name it and claim it in a sense. Yeah, good. So then question 2 is, how can the professional environment of a client impact coaching goals and progress? Christine, would you like to speak from personal experience in this one?
I was just thinking of that.
Yeah,
Well, they would have to pivot often,
yeah.
and they would have a plan, and that plan seems really great, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, now I have to pivot, and then they're
Hmm.
off balance and have to recenter again
Yeah.
and figure out where to go from there, which is where we come in.
Hmm.
And it might make them feel like me right now, like they're not making any progress.
Hmm.
And it's just, I'm just spinning in a wheel and I'm not really getting anywhere. And it can
Hmm.
sometimes probably get them down. And, it would help if us as coaches can help them realize where they are succeeding, or where even pivoting, being able to pivot in a
Yeah.
situation is a success.
Hmm. Yeah, and as like coaches, honestly, being understanding that that's what happens in life and not getting frustrated, right? I think sometimes we get frustrated with people really quickly and not realize, no, this is really just life happening to them. They're not
Mhm.
making choices that are leading to this. There's plenty of that already going on in the world. This is just life happening to them and they need to pivot, right? And I think reminding a client of that, I would think, would hopefully give them a little bit lighter perspective on things, right? Like they didn't plan this, they didn't make this happen, this isn't their fault.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. I thought there was 3 questions.
I I also kind of feel a question that it's a bold question, but
Mm-hmm.
a question that could be really relevant in the coaching is to actually ask your client, how embarrassed do you feel to connect with me?
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
good one. Other thoughts or questions that have popped into your mind that we could ask?
What questions? Sorry, am I?
Just in general, like how Rita was thinking, like we could ask our clients, how embarrassed are they to connect, to bring some of these things up? It was just if any questions popped into your mind during the session, during this lesson that you were like, oh, that would be a great one to ask. But if nothing popped into your mind, that is totally fine. Just doing
You caught
space.
that. What are you talking about? Look, didn't you?
like, it's okay. This is not mandatory. I also understand there's plenty of good questions here. It's a pretty like self-explanatory kind of lesson. Ladies.
Oh,
Ladies.
wow.
Yeah. So Rita, you coached Christine last time, right?
I can't remember. I think I coach on a Thursday. But
Yeah.
maybe I should coach tonight because Thursday I'm not with you guys. I can't make
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, because for children, it's wonderful live experiences.
Yes.
Are you good with that, Christine?
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. My husband's printer isn't working. And I could show you a picture of my office if y'all wanted to, but like can't even get into it. I don't know where. So I'm like on my iPad, but I have like my Mac Air over here, but I'm not pulling up
I
oh
see
We
it.
know what you mean.
the core
The
competencies,
markers.
the markers.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we can just speak in a little bit more generality today when it comes to that. Yeah. So it doesn't, but let's take a break, right?
Thanks. Water, definitely
Let's
water.
take a break and let's come back at 1/2 past the hour and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.
I'm just expanding on my cheat sheet. I have to say,
Yes.
it works really well for me.
That is really good. I do love a good cheat sheet. It's like, I feel like I used to be able to read stuff when I was younger and really retain it. I think it's just because you're in school and that's like that part of your brain gets really strong. But now that I'm older, like I can read stuff, I completely comprehend it, I understand it. But then, like 2 days later, it's like I know I understood it, I know I read it, but it's not like coming to my mind. But then a cheat sheet, and you just see like 1 or 2 words, and it's like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. Totally. Okay. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
Okay. So Christine, we'll just say it's half past. So you guys can have until the top of the hour, or like again, I would rather you guys go over so you can like finish the process, feel complete as a coach, and that Rita's got a little bow on her package. Okay. I want you to like feel rushed so that you can get critiqued. That's not, I think the point is for you to practice and do things the best you can and then go from there. So I'm going to leave you lovely ladies to it, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Okay.
Hey. Bye, Christine.
Hi.
So, do you feel ready for our session?
Yes. Yes, I really need it. Like, really need it. I feel eager.
Great. Okay. So, I would like to invite you for a couple of housekeeping things. Just close your eyes, deep breath in, out. This is a confidential session. You are safe. I do take notes and I'm more than willing to share them with you. So when you're ready to take this next 30 minutes for your own growth and for yourself, let me know.
Yeah, I'm there.
Explain to me, where is there? What's our topic tonight?
Our topic is how to manage the next couple weeks. How am I going to manage my time appropriately to get through this without depleting myself? Because I feel like pushed to deplete myself. And I don't want to do that, but I don't know how to move forward. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I guess I do. I'm doing it. I was just doing it on the break. That's the problem. I didn't just have a break. I was answering emails and I was setting up new meetings, and that's a problem right there. That's depletion right there. So I got to figure out how to get through the next 2 weeks without depleting myself. Maybe month, but at least 2 weeks, because this is the big crunch.
So, what do you need by the end of today?
I need a specific timeline I'm going to follow, regardless of how much worse it may get. And I need something that reflects the current crunch, but that also allows me even some time to do something for myself. So I need, yeah, a specific plan, like what that looks like from how long am I going to work, and how am I going to manage my time off, and well, my breaks, and what are they going to look like? I just, yeah.
If we need to measure today our success for the end of this call, how are we going to measure it?
Well, the plan will be written in front of me, and I will
Okay.
feel focused and more relaxed than I feel, because I don't feel relaxed at all, literally right now. And there's nothing I can do to get away from it until I do this. I just feel this whew, overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. That's really what it is.
Okay, so plan we can work on. The feeling of focused, you just said, on a scale from 0 to 10, how focused do you feel?
Like a 4.
Oh, okay. Would you like us to measure your feeling of overwhelmed on 0 or 10, or would you rather um, measure your stress from 0 to 10? What would serve you?
Sorry, I missed part of what you said. You said the overwhelm, measure that from 0 to 10, or what?
Or stress, because you used the two
Oh,
words. You said
yeah,
overwhelmed and
overwhelm.
stress.
Yeah, overwhelm
Okay.
is the one.
Okay.
That's, yeah, and overwhelm is like a 9.
A 9. Okay.
Like I'm pretty extremely overwhelmed.
So what I really hear you say to me is that you are desperate for the plan, the timeline. We need to get you to be better focused and less overwhelmed.
Well, yeah, yeah, that is it. I was thinking maybe, but no, that is it. Yeah.
So what will change for you when we achieve this?
Well, I won't feel the need to ignore myself. I won't feel the need um to put myself last and put my work first. Yeah. And I think I'll get more work done. I'll be more productive because I won't feel frantic, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where shall we start?
I think assessing how much time I really should be giving to my work. and how much to myself, how much to my husband. Yeah, I just can't wait till my job is done. Oh my gosh. I've never been so excited for something. Well, I probably have. I'm exaggerating, but I'm pretty darn excited. Like, I just need it to be done. And that focus will be amazing that I'll have once it's done. But right now, I just need to dig right in and just, I don't know, think about how much time is too much to give to my job. Yesterday, I worked for a long time, more than 12 hours. And I just set it up as I was not in class. I was setting it up so that I would be able to complete 4 websites by Monday. I just need that done. Because if I can complete, I have my list in front of me, literally. If I can complete 4 websites by Monday, deal with these, oh shoot. I just forgot something. Deal with these, now you see it? It's like I can't even retain a thought because I forgot something on my list.
Okay.
That's
Add
okay
it to
though.
the list.
I'll figure it out here. But yeah, and then I have 3 other clients I don't have to do websites for, so I can potentially get 7 clients off my plate within a week, which is intense because that means I have to build 4 websites in 1 week.
How long does a website usually take you?
Well, it takes me about 20 hours, but the ones that I just set up today are easier because 3 of them already have a website. They're just really bad websites. So I'm just recreating a new design and all of that, and I can take some of their content from their current website that's already up and shift it over. So I don't have to wait for them to get me content or use AI to create the content myself. So, I mean, I can probably do those 3 websites in like 15 hours from start to finish. One of them
Okay.
10, because I've already done the, so I do, this is the thing. Normally I do the bones of a website and then I connect with my client and I have them go through it with me. And then we course correct. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like that. Do this, do that, and I take all that in and then I just run and go do the rest of the website on my own. And then I let them know, okay, your website's done. Now we're going to meet. And I take them through a meeting where I show them how to run the website and teach them SEO. So that's 1 more hour I have to do. But normally I have to wait for clients to get me stuff, but I don't for these 4. And that's what I'm scared of. I feel
Tell me
like,
more.
well, just because I have everything I need to build them, I feel like I'm just going to want to just suck it up for 4 days or 5 days and just hammer them out and get it off my plate. And so I'm debating between that and trying to make sure I care for myself in there. Like, I suppose I don't really need to. Like last night when I was working late, my husband came home and he made dinner and he served it to me at my desk. And then he took my plate away and he cleaned up after dinner And, he made sure he looked after the dogs. He just does everything that I need to have done when I'm busy. So I don't need to worry about feeding myself or cleaning my house or making sure I have clean clothes. He'll make sure everything's done for me. So when I look at self-care, what do I really mean? I suppose I mean emotionally feeling okay.
Ah, okay. Okay. I want to acknowledge you on that moment because you just figured out what your self-care means, right?
Yeah. And that's really all it means right now. It means emotionally feeling okay, but it also means getting enough sleep. It means drinking what I'm supposed to drink. It means taking my supplements. They're pretty minor things, and I don't normally forget them. Um, but it does definitely mean honoring my sleep. That really is number one on my self-care list. If I had to wear dirty clothes for a week and have no makeup on and I couldn't even shower for a week, I'd sleep first before I did all those things even. It's so important in my world for my health. So I would say sleep is number one, and two would have to be emotionally feeling okay.
So can we explore a little bit about feeling emotionally okay? What does that look like for you?
It looks like feeling huh. Give me a second. I keep having things come up in my head like relax, but that's not what it's like either. It is actually. It's not feeling frantic. It's feeling focused. It's feeling in control of myself. Um, I can't think of the word. Um, at peace, even if there's like a crap storm around me. It's a feeling of inner peace, actually.
I hear something around a bit disconnected with yourself. And I'm wondering
Mhm.
why I'm hearing that.
I do feel disconnected with myself. I think it's because I'm not making my decisions right now based on what I value. I'm making them based on what someone else wants them to be. So really, I just need to look at what do I value and not make it about everyone else around me. And that needs to be my focus.
If you could stand on top of your roof, but nobody can see you and nobody can hear you, what would you yell out right now?
Do you really want to know?
I do.
Oh my gosh. Well, without cursing, how will I put it? Um, I will put it I'll do whatever I want, thank you.
Okay.
And it wouldn't sound nice. It would sound rebellious and forceful.
Okay. This is a closed-ended question, and I apologize for it. But do you think that could be the message that you want to connect with?
I think the message I want to connect with is I will do what feeds my soul.
Right. Okay, so let's do a check-in. Let's do a check-in. Your soul is really communicating with you, and thank you very much for bringing her voice. So looking at the plan, we don't have a plan yet. If we look at the scale of focus, you were on a 4. Where would you say you are right now?
I'm an 8. I even know what I want to do now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if I'm thinking about that, what feeds my soul, aside from anyone else, what feeds
Mm-hmm.
my soul, what I want to do with my life is get on with my life. I want to be doing my coaching. I want to be doing my coaching homework. I want to be focusing on those things. In order to do that, I need to get this stuff out of the way. And regardless of, it's not whether it works for someone else, that works for me. I need to get this stuff out of my way. And that's what I want to do. I want to give myself the time to focus on what I need to. I mean, I've done a lot of hard things in my life, a lot. And I want to get these 7 clients off my plate. Once that happens, I don't have to rush with all the rest. It's just a normal work day after that. I can have all these other clients done in 1 week if I just buckle down and leave my husband to cook for me and clean for me and do all that great stuff that he does. And then I only have to deal with this feeling. Well, not even feeling. I only have to do more work than I want to for 1 week. I have the ability to get this off my plate, have it done, and then just enjoying my life. Well, not in, I still am going to be busy, but I won't be frantic, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I could turn around and say, well, I'm going to limit myself to, 10 hours a day. That's just going to prolong my frantic feeling. And then if another client happens to pop up, then I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my mind, which I don't want to do that. I want to get them off my plate. But I also want to make sure that I have 2 hours a night myself to go in my hot tub and recharge, to lay around with my puppies, to visit Joe. So I think I need to quit all work at 8 p.m.
Right.
8 p.m. allows me even a couple hours. That hot tub is like literally laying in there for a half an hour it just change. It's like an hour of all sorts of other things that don't do me nearly as much good. So 8, yeah. So if I start work at 6 a.m., which is normal for me, that gives me 12 hours a day to build these websites. And I have, what day is it today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can have them all done for work on Monday. That would bring me joy. That would make me feel really good.
Okay. I would like to check in with Christine with her very strong family values.
Yes.
Where is she? How is she doing with this plan for a week?
She's pretty good
Okay.
because, yeah, I mean, I feel good about it because I mean, there's times in life where we just can't always do what we want to do. And sometimes, we have to just suck things up and it doesn't feel great. But I fortunately, Joe is incredibly supportive of me. He knows I'm under a real crunch right now. And yeah, and then we'll just do something together. Like I still see him for a couple hours every night, so it's not like I don't see him at all. And he's right now working on all these cauldrons we have to do. So last night I worked really late. Well, I actually stopped at 8 p.m. and I felt like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So maybe that's why 8 p.m. comes into my head. And then he was kind of grateful because he had to get all these cauldrons done for the kids in town. So I think he'll probably for this week, he'll do those cauldrons and get those completed or mostly completed. I'll do what I need to do, get that completed, and then we'll come together on Saturday or Sunday and just spend a good chunk of time together. And I feel good about that. I'm still seeing him every day. I'm still showing him value. In fact, every day he texts me to tell me what he loves about me or admires about me or something grateful about me. And today I did it first. And I don't normally do it. But he was so nice last night doing all this stuff while I was freaking out getting my other website done, which I completed last night. And it was actually kind of nice to feel like I had so much to be grateful for and just share that with him. So I don't feel like we're really losing out on much. We're still showing each other gratitude and having some time together. So I feel okay with that.
Okay. So how are you going to hold on to this new insight?
I don't have a choice. No, I suppose I do have a choice, but it's probably going to be pretty hard to not be mindful.
Mm.
Like, but I have I use my alarm system quite regularly, very regularly. It's my life. So, I'll just set alarms.
So the other question I would like to ask you is how would this serve you for the next 7 days?
It allows me to plow through the crap to get to the cream. And the cream is doing what I really want to be doing. You know, I mean, even if I got new clients tomorrow, it would be nothing like what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Like right now, this is the most I've ever had on my plate at work.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can just get these websites out of the way, which I've already set up, I'm meeting with 2 of the clients tomorrow to get it all done. And the one of them, he's like, we're on each other's speed dial. So I can literally just say, Derek, I want you to meet with me right now. Get on Zoom, and he'll do it. So he was the only one that I don't have stuff fully set up with. Not 100%, but it's easy. So yeah, it's just going to be great. And then I'm actually just going to message the other 3 when we get off of here. And because with those ones, it's just meetings.
Mm.
And I'm going to get them to book in meetings. I'm going to open up a part of my day, get them to book in meetings, and away I go. So I feel excited to get it all out of the way. And it serves me darn well to just suck it up and get it out of the way.
What are barriers that needs attention in this plan?
I can't think of anything. I was thinking, like, what if I had to take my dogs into the vet, which are to get groomed, which I do, but I can just like shift my work around because I work from home, so it's pretty easy, right? Maybe if a client didn't get back to me regarding the other 3, and in that case, I would just move on to another one.
And our question about accountability is going to help to keep you grounded in this process, not only accountable.
My husband. Yeah. And I think he'll check in with me to see how I'm feeling. If I need anything, or if I need to, switch things around a little bit. Because yesterday I was really frantic. Like I was so frantic yesterday, and he's not used to seeing me like that. So I stopped working. I went and took 15 minutes, jumped in the hot tub, relaxed, threw on a nightshirt, and came back to work. So I just basically cut 15 minutes out of my later relaxation to just kind of fill my bucket a little bit when I needed to. So, and I didn't do that on my own. He recognized that I probably needed that and suggested it. So he's a really great person for that, even if I don't ask for, I guess, formal accountability. So I can't think of a lot of barriers, but I'll talk with him about my plan and ask him if he would help me with making sure that not only I meet the plan, but if I'm struggling, that he'll be there to help remind me.
So last check-in quickly. Do you feel you've got a plan, first of all?
I feel that I have a plan now. Yes, I have the plan I was looking for. And I have the permission I needed to give myself. Because I was feeling initially like, well, you shouldn't be working all these hours because your boss wants you to. But I realized through our session that I'm not doing it because my boss wants me to. I'm doing it because that's what I feel I need to do for me.
On the scale of focus, in the beginning you were at 4, you raised that up to 8, I think you said.
Yeah.
Okay. And your scale of feeling overwhelmed, when we started, you were at a 9. Where are you now?
Isn't that strange, eh? What a strange thing, because nothing has changed from when I came into this session. Yet I don't feel overwhelmed now. I feel very focused now and like I know what I need to do. Um, so I mean, I don't think my overwhelm's completely gone, but it's probably at like a 2. It's really low now, you know?
So allow me to summarize and just be the mirror for a moment in your life. What I heard when you came in, I heard words like frantic, overwhelm. Um, I don't know where I'm going to fit in self time, self care. I don't want to ignore myself. I don't want to put myself last. And I really saw how you journey with giving yourself permission to have a rough week, and that you actually connected with the need to complete this. And what I discovered with you is that you definitely connected it with excitement, finishing 7 clients in a week, and you feel strongly that it is possible. Emotionally, okay, I would like to reflect back to say, you said it means that I'm focused, it means that I'm in control, and it means that I'm at peace. And you figured out your hours, you figured out the permission that hubby will do the self care and the running of the household for a week. And you really felt at ease and peace with that. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. So I just want to be respectful of your time. So, what do you need to express so that you can leave completed and absolutely ready for your 7 days?
I think I expressed everything. I think I'm feeling really good and yeah.
Well, I celebrate you absolutely for digging deep, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, and just bringing yourself and just giving yourself a moment to breathe and get back to Christine. Thank you very much for today's session.
Thank you for today's session.
Good session. Good job, Christine, for going there, working through that. Good. Rita, how are you feeling after the session? Personally.
Um, Not too bad. Probably 6.5 out of 10. I was surprised when she said she has a plan. I'm glad she has a plan. I don't have the plan yet.
Right? Not our job to have the plan.
Yes, and I'm just thankful that she does feel more focused and the overwhelm is less. So I do feel worried that I didn't get to the 8 category of the things because it was feedback that Cheryl gave me last
Yeah.
time. So on the cheat sheet, I was really trying to connect the whole time the dots to travel to the eighth
Yeah.
outcome,
You mean the core competency?
the core competency.
Well, I actually put down, I think you did start to get there because you asked her, how are you going to hold on to this new insight? So that is client growth. That is getting them to not only own what they've just learned about themselves, but it's putting it into practice. So it's making them like move forward in that truth. And again, I don't have my marker, so I'm sorry, I can't tell you like which one that is. And then since I don't have my markers, I'm not sure if this one is 8 or 7. Or I mean 6 or 8, but just when you asked her, how is this going to serve you? How would this serve you for the next 7 days? Again, that was like her taking ownership of the insights that she was having and really processing through like what that was going to mean for her and go deeper, right? Like, so first of all, how are you going to hold on to the new insights, right? So now she has the idea how she's going to hold on to them, but now she knows how they're going to serve her. So it's like that next layer under the insight. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But I thought it was brilliant. When you asked her, she had said focus and overwhelm. So you asked her, do we want to measure your stress or your overwhelm? And that was beautiful clarity when it comes to our coaching agreement and making sure that we are talking about what the client wants to talk about. What does the client want to overcome? Because it's very easy to assume that those two things are the same, and they're not, right? Now, they might have been for Christine, right? For some people, they might be. But still, specifically asking for that breakdown, the client then will either say, well, no, I meant the same thing, or ooh, I'm going to sneeze. The sun's not even out the window. I was like, oh. But that just helps you just get such a strong agreement that you picked up on those words and focus, right? So you were really deliberate in your usage of focus and overwhelm, like throughout the session and the measuring of that. So that's really helping the client get the outcome that they want. And letting the client lead is coaching presence. And that you did great when you asked her, okay, so where shall we start? Again, it's really easy for a coach to just kind of like pick our first question and run with it. But it doesn't always mean it's the right thing, So giving her like, okay, I know there's a lot on your plate. Like, where do you want to start? This is your session. Where do you want to start? Like showing her that respect and that presence and the listening skills of like, okay, like where do you want to start digging in? And then more towards the end here, when you asked her, what does emotionally okay look like for you? Again, would have been really easy to just make an assumption on what emotionally okay looks like and feels like and moved on. But again, you were making her think through, what does emotionally okay mean for her? What does it mean or feel like or look like? And then she was able to move forward into the next steps. Oh, you said I'm going to ask you a close-ended question and you apologized. It's okay to ask a close-ended question once in a while. In fact, you can ask Cheryl if it's okay to do it I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it on your calls that you're gonna send in. But I remember for my PCC, I had someone else do my recordings for me, and they were like, yeah, and they're an MCC as well, so they were like, well, you can do like some close-ended questions here and there. It's not as frowned upon as back like when we got like our original stuff. So having one in there, it does it. And I think it was a really powerful close-ended question, which we don't usually get to say, right? Because it didn't start with the star 5. But I mean, the question was, is that the message you want to connect with? I was like, whoa, you don't need to apologize. That was like a mic drop, and it was close-ended. Right. And it made her like really grapple with like, well, no, like that's not what I want to, connect with.
The reason why I said, okay, here it comes, because I was worried. I wasn't sure how far she is in her own head right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I decided, okay, let me get her really out of her head. I need her to answer this question for me. So I used it deliberately to get her out of her head to say, oh,
that was good.
Closing the question. I need you to listen.
You are tricky. That was really good. Did it get you out of your head, Christine?
It did. Can I give some feedback?
As long as it is positive. Because we're not supposed to, but I think
I found this to be a really impressive session for me. Like I really did. And I didn't think that it would be easy for me. Well, because I was grappling with, well, should I be doing what's right for me and what's right for someone else? And it's funny, I didn't even realize what would be right for me and what would be right for someone else would be the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It had never even occurred to me. And that was where the root of my confusion lied and my struggle lied. And she just so brilliantly helped me to realize that. So thank you. It was just such an amazing session.
Yeah, that was a big aha there at the end of like, oh, I'm not doing it for her, I'm doing it for me, which means it's still going to kind of look like I'm doing it for her, but I'm not as sure as heck not doing it for her.
Yeah. Loved it. This is my favorite session so far.
Thank you.
Get a gold star. No, and the reason I said good job for going there is because just the beginning of class, Christine, I was like, there's got to be a way that you do not have to be a slave to this woman until the end of November. Like that is just not sustainable. And then you're contracted, so that's just a load of poo. So I was really glad that you brought that up in the session, because I mean, it's just been, well, it's your favorite session so far, but I think it's what's going to get you through the next couple of weeks. So that's why I was like, that's really good work that you went there and worked it out. Yeah. Rita, do you have questions for me?
No, Holly, no. I had one question that I wanted to ask Christine, and it just popped up again. But Christine, if I think of it, I'm going to send you an email with a question, kind of like a, just reflecting back on what we did. So, yeah.
Just message me on Facebook or WhatsApp.
Okay. If I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing that I've realized this last 2 weeks is that sometimes when we could ask our clients, if nobody can hear you and nobody can see you and you can sit down on top of your roof and you could shout out something really loud.
Mhm.
What would that be? It almost feels to me then we are going to get to the core message
Mhm.
immediately.
Yeah, that was a really good question.
Okay.
Yeah. Other thoughts,
Okay.
comments? So what was something, well, maybe you already said this, but I'll ask anyways. What did you learn about yourself today, Christine?
Hmm. Oh gosh. I learned that I put what's best for me once I realize what it is
Mm-hmm.
above my concern for, I don't know how to say it. So like my boss,
Mm-hmm.
I had this, I don't want to do what she wants me to,
Yeah.
because she's just being so awful about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't really like a lot of some things about her anyways. So once I realized that what was right for me was the same thing that was right for her,
Yeah.
I didn't go, well, I'm not going to do that just to stand on that principle that it's not right for her. I really
Mm-hmm.
realized that I have the emotional maturity to just do what's best for me no matter what, even if it benefits
Yeah.
someone else. And that
Good.
makes me happy about myself.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Any last parting thoughts or comments before we end for the day?
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering something.
Okay.
Okay, so today is October 8th,
Yes.
and then we have October 10th.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay. So we're on track then to do group mentoring on the 15th and then the 17th be done, right?
So
As
I
far as
have
I'm
it.
aware.
What's that, Rita?
That's how I have it as well.
Okay. All right. Good.
Okay, ladies.
Just figuring out my timeline here.
Got this.
Yeah, so I think what we could do, if you want to, after we've completed all the academic work, then maybe what we could do is just take an hour, um, listen to the PCC, and kind of fill in, um, and just highlight a couple of questions for ourselves, together, and just talk through the PCC recording, just kind of once a week, I was thinking.
For you and I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But where are those recordings? I don't remember. Cheryl said they were somewhere.
I don't think she said she will load it up.
She did, she told me.
Mm.
When her and I met for my mentoring, but I don't know where they are.
What's on the drive? Let's see. Hold on. Did she say she's going to load it on the drive? Can you remember?
That's usually where she would load it, would be in the drive or files.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm just not in there. Maybe I'm not. Okay, drive. Maybe I just need to go there.
No, it's not there.
No, I don't see it there. Hmm.
No.
But there's an awful lot of tasks there that I haven't done yet. Oh my God.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Don't go there yet.
Um, that's okay. I'm just gonna finish what I have to do.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't see them yet.
Mm-mm. No, I don't see them either.
And why? Okay, okay, I got it. 12. So class 13. No, we are missing a class. Because if I look on here, it shows under class recordings, it shows up to class 11. Class 12 would be today. Class 13, yeah, something's not quite right. Because remember we missed that one class?
Yeah, but she probably just sent you the recording.
Of a missed class? No, everyone missed the class.
Right when she was out.
Yeah.
So, well, you guys can send her a message and ask her, but I mean, it's not the first time that class has been taught. So sometimes she will just shoot you the file from the previous
Okay.
class.
Yeah, I think it was 6.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But anyways, we'll figure it out. So I'll just
Yeah.
message her and ask her where those recordings are. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that
and then
right
ask
now
her about
before
that
I
class.
forget.
Okay. And ask her about that class.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
And can I ask a technological question, please? I have no idea how Telegram works. Right, this is what my Telegram looks like. I'm like, why do I want to know who is joining Telegram? And I'm
I
trying.
know.
So there's nothing I can do about that, right?
Not that I have figured out. I'm like, I don't care that someone's phone number that I have from 15 years ago just joined Telegram. Please don't tell them I'm on Telegram. If we haven't talked in 15 years.
We're not talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I asked Cheryl, could I have her Telegram handle? And she said at Coach Cheryl or something like that. But I don't know how to add her handle to Telegram. I don't know what to do with that.
You just hit by chats, you can just hit the compose, the square with the pencil, and just start a new group, even though it's not a group.
Okay.
And
who would you like to add?
her, yeah, I have at Coach Cheryl T. For Thacker.
Cheryl T. There she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I just sent her a message.
Okay.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week and that things go well tomorrow and Thursday night, Rita, for the kids.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And
Good
I
luck,
will
Christine.
be seeing you all online.
Okay. Thanks, Holly, for everything.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.